Hello makers! I decided that I was going to give you a peek through my very first week in not just 2019 Hobonichis, but Hobonichis period. This is the first year that I have had any. I posted a video back in August, I believe, for how I tentatively intended to use these. So I just wanted to do a follow-up quickly to show you how that's panning out. Some things changed, some things may still change, but so far I am loving them, especially the cousin. So next year, if I force myself to only use one, right now the front runner is the cousin. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my weeks. My weeks was never intended to be fancy. No stickers, no fanciness whatsoever. Just me, this pen, calling it a day. Some things that I had originally intended, like learning Japanese, things like that, didn't make it in. I decided I wanted that to be in my traveler's notebook so that as each year passed, that could still be carried forward quite easily. Okay. This is the same. This is still tracking good old ant flow. Sorry. This is still tracking weights. That was December. God, I haven't done much in the monthlies yet, but I only ever intended for it to write down birthdays, anniversaries, events coming up, things like that. So that's still on track. So this was where I will call it officially started. I did kind of putt around back here, but that was just sort of testing the water, so to speak. So what this has become is breakfast, lunch, dinner, and what that is, and if I did it. This is water. Each scribbled in block meant 8 ounces. And then these are notes about how I'm feeling. I restarted keto part 2 on the 1st. So I didn't have full-blown keto flu like the first time I did it back in March, but there was a little bit of something going on, so I just noted it. Shopping list, this was on the 1st. This was yesterday. What I spent, Jesus. What I had planned to order on Amazon and what I did order. And then Saturday night I went ahead and already planned for this week. So that's all written in here. So this is this week. And I decided to go ahead and color in the water to differentiate it a little bit better from anything noting how I was feeling, and used a water related color, so that will stand out a little bit better from the other. And I am wholly confident that as I move forward, this is going to change a bit, just like this did. So there may be some pretty added, and it won't be as boring as like this, but we'll see. So again, this is super simple, mostly just me and a pen, and then back here, as originally planned, I have started to use this. I used it all the way back in November because I ordered a lot of Christmas presents and things, so I just put that in there. All these other lists that I showed in the video back in August, I haven't done anything with those yet. So that is my weeks starting out. Here is my original A6, and this has not too terrible much to show, but I am trying to keep track of things I want to do on very specific days currently. So I try to go to the post office either to ship orders, check my P.O. box, whatever, send pen pal letters on Mondays and Thursdays. So I have a scribbled in little mailbox in there. And then I'm trying to post videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. I'm not currently writing in what I plan to post because that changes as time permits for what I can film and edit and whatever. So I write in what I did post. So these videos are done, except for here. Apparently I decided I was going to pre-plan to do a blog post, that's what this is, about bullet journaling. Last Friday I did one on just straight up journaling and how to get in the habit. So my monthlies are primarily focused on when I plan to blog, when I plan to YouTube, and when I plan to go to the post office. Here I just plan to write things I hope to accomplish that month. And then the way that I'm handling these pages, it's sort of bullet journal-y because you'll see here that I wrote down that I wanted to put some effort in some way towards weather stickers. What I ended up doing was brainstorming the types of weather stickers that I want to make. And so if I look back to January 1st, I brainstormed weather stickers. If I look on January 5th, that's where I wrote my notes on creating the perfect pot of French press coffee. So I'm not doing every single day because a lot of days there's nothing significant. It's just a series of to-dos that I've checked off. But if there is something I may want to reference later, like a recipe, or when was it that I brainstormed weather stickers and what was I gonna make, I can see it easily right here. And if I did fill in every single one, it would turn into a cluster, and I wouldn't so easily be able to pick these out. So just those important highlights, I'm going back and indexing right in here. So back to these. What I do here is I differentiate between tasks with colors. So this light purpley color was sleep. This darker purple was when I was doing my magic morning routine. Here's when I did a little weather sticker work, ran some errands, worked on getting a YouTube video up, worked on bullet journaling, etc., etc. And then here is just a series of tasks. Up here I try to put top things I want to accomplish that day. Still shaking this out because like sometimes I put things in there that weren't necessarily, oh my god, I gotta do it, and it just turned into one big long running list, like, well, like here. And I think I want it more like this, where absolute have to get these done today stuff is up here, and then a separate to-do list down here. Like right here, these are all the steps I take to accomplish a YouTube video. These are the things I wanted to do with that task, etc., etc. I moved this forward, standard bullet journal icon. I moved this forward to another day, all that stuff. So this is kind of bullet journal-y. And then you'll see, Alexa, no one asked you.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Yeah. Okay, and so then places like here where I did something for a client, this is something that I do for myself. I circle the time that I spent. So I spent an hour on this particular task for a client. I circle it, color it in, I put a little circle next to it. So coloring it in and putting that circle, I know to look for it. And as soon as I put an X through that little circle, it means that I invoiced it, or I placed it on the invoice I plan to send. That's how I track time spent for clients and bill them accordingly later. So see, here's my French press notes. I looked up, or I watched a couple YouTube videos on the ideal way to do a good pot of French press coffee, noted it here, and now I know from my index where to find it. So see here, I transferred that I wanted to do my blog post. It was Friday. Got that in the top list of things to accomplish. And here we are with today's, and I'm already plugging away and starting to get things accomplished. That's what I plan to do moving forward. Not too much of that is going to change, I don't think. I am currently liking that. Not a lot of decoration, not a lot of hoopla going on in this one either, other than some color coding certain tasks, but that's working for me currently. This is where all of my work stuff lives, including YouTube blog things that are part of Kelly Anderson Studio, not just client work. So all of Kelly Anderson Studio or B&B related stuff. B&B is my solitary bee house business. All of that lives in here. Not so much personal stuff other than to-dos and things like that. Whatever. Okay, loving it. But here, this has to be my favorite. I don't even know if I can pinpoint why, other than there's just so much room and I don't feel crowded. But, so what I originally intended and what has actually happened is this is a habit tracker for me. So I wrote some habits that I wanted to do this month, and I just put a dot when I do it. You can see I'm not exactly winning the day over here, but I'm doing all of these, and I know I need to work on these. So that's what those are for me. And then over here, I am liking this quite a bit. This is sort of my index of journal entries because this Hobonichi is my journal. So I know that I wrote a little bit of, oh yay, hi 2019, it's the new year, blah blah, this is what I'm gonna do, I'm awesome, etc. is here. This is talking about 24 hours into keto, part 2. And how I'm feeling and just motivating myself and what I lost in the span of a day. This is conversations that I had with people that I wrote about. This is me being super freaking tired. Hello, keto. And I spent the day working on, well, making this, actually. And then a bunch of grocery shopping and some doubts about my career path. And I talked about those. So in the future, as I discussed in that August video, when I say, where was it that I talked about, or where was it that I tried to motivate myself on keto and get part 2 kicked back in and made myself feel all empowered? Oh, it was on January 2nd. I think I need to go read that again before I go eat a pint of ice cream. So these little visual cues, instead of, like even this, if I did just this on every day, it would be hard for me to pick out, where was it that I talked about that thing? And instead I have maybe a little illustration or a nicer lettering or something. Like here, keto really stands out. So I know I talked about keto that day. That sort of thing. This is going to help me be able to reference. Oh, here was some goals and some things I want to buy for the year. Okay, Dutch, you're pushing my buttons. So here's where some journaling kicked in. I do things I'm grateful for, and then I just journal or doodle or washi tape or whatever. This is a postcard that I got from a lovely new friend. Hello, Diane. That made me absolutely giddy because this is a local artist. She's in Bend, Oregon, and I saw her at Crafty Wonderland. If you watch my Crafty Wonderland video, you'll see that I was at her booth. Absolutely loved her stuff. Never got to purchase anything, but I hope to from her online shop. Her illustrations are very much nature, Oregon, getting out, hiking, camping, all of those things, and I love her illustration style, and they're absolutely adorable. Well, Diane watched that video. Bless your heart. And she purchased a pack of postcards and sent me one of them. And when I checked my P.O. box and I saw that in there, I was absolutely giddy. And she told me after I messaged her about it that she now really likes this artist. So hang on a second. The artist's name is Megan Marie Myers. Let me not give away anybody's addresses. I don't know if you can see that, but Megan Marie Myers. She's online on Etsy. You can find her, Megan Mariemyers. Find her. She was absolutely lovely as well at her booth. But thank you, Diane. Again, this is awesome. Okay, so then back behind it, I just wrote this empowering little, you're a badass, go do the dang thing, you're fierce, you're whatever, don't quit, create awesome, blah, 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 blah. And I wrote all of that in here, just whatever came into my mind to motivate me, keep me on track. All of that is written back here behind this lovely postcard so that I can reference it. So cute. Seriously. So these monthly things are going to be dedicated to motivating me for another month, whether that's photos, a particular writing, or a quote, or whatever. This is supposed to be a little inspirational something or other. Then we have just journal entries. I'm writing pretty darn small. I don't think there's anything in here too personal or private, but I may go quickly just in case. I just tore some bits of bag, put some washi, wrote. Again, all my gratitude stuff is at the top so that I make sure I do 5 per day. This is paper that came wrapped around a stationery order, little quote, another bag from a purchase. I'm reusing all that kind of stuff. And then over here, this is kind of interesting. I was doing some acrylic pouring for the first time over the holidays, and these were the acrylic skins that were left on my surface that I peeled up, and I didn't want to throw them away. They're so pretty. So I just kind of fit them in here. The thing is, they'll stick to each other a little bit. So then I also just put a little bit of stuff over it. Like this is, I think this was the cover to my MD little sketch notebook. I just tore some of that and put it on there, put little photos from my Instagram, some washi, just to not have the entire thing stick to each other. And then I can at least get at it from the top corners, but I didn't want to throw it away. I'm not a hoarder per se, but come on, that's pretty stuff. Anyway, that's my journaling stuff. So in here is sort of where this timeline stuff transfers. I don't know in the future if I'm going to write in what I did during that time. Maybe I will. I haven't decided yet because it's already written in the other one, but I probably will, just because if my objective is to only buy this one next year, I want to make sure everything fits and is accounted for. So I might keep doing it. What I will not do is pre-plan on these pages because my schedule is wonky. Clients will totally throw a wrench in what I originally planned for the day, and things don't always pan out. Or so I had intended to be up by 7 every day. That didn't always happen, and I wasn't going to scribble it out. But because I just restarted keto and detoxing from all the carbs and the sugar and the things, I'm really tired. Or was. And I slept in some morning, and I am okay. See? Bump everything down 2 hours, I slept in. I slept in till 9. So everything had to shift. And then like here, that's not what I did. Right there. And I did not do this yesterday because I'm doing it right now and it's Monday. So I am not going to pre-plan on these pages unless it is like a scheduled, locked in thing, like a Timbers game or an appointment or a client call or something like that. I will just fill them in as they happen, or at the end of the day, or maybe at the end of the week. I will reference this and then create a pretty spread. But I pre-planned at the end of December, trying to sort of figure out how it was I wanted to use the pages. I always intended for this to be weather. I mentioned before that my grandma always tracked the weather in her travel journals, and so I'm taking a page from her book and doing that. I put these little stickers, since I haven't designed my own yet. I put these stickers in there. They're from thecoffeemonsterzco. I got them on Etsy. These are also from the same shop. So I haven't filled this week's in yet, and I will later. But yeah, so these are my Hobonichis, week 1, and I'm loving them. I still feel it's excessive to have 3, but I wanted to see what they were all about, show you what they're all about if you've not yet purchased one and are thinking about it. And then next year, I think I'll dial it down a bit. Maybe only use 2 if I can't bring myself to use 1. Okay, those are my Hobonichis, week 1. I will maybe keep doing these if you want to see them. See how this progresses and how it evolves, and maybe it'll give you some ideas for how to use yours, or maybe you can give me some ideas. Comment below and tell me how you're using yours, or what ideas you have to solve my problems, like when I freaking change my mind or sleep in. I also am not sure what I could use these for. I am using them like I showed you in this one, but I don't really have any plans for these. I also haven't utilized this space. I was thinking maybe putting motivational quote for the month. I don't know though. What are you putting down here? I haven't utilized this. That could maybe be my weekly what I have to get accomplished to do style stuff, but I don't know. I guess moving in the next years, it would be easier to utilize them because I was only using 1, but give me some pointers, guys. Those of you who are using these, or even if you're not and you have an idea, how can I use all the space? I haven't used any of these blank pages. They don't give you very many, but I haven't used any of that. Okay, so that's it. That is week 1 in my 2019 Hobonichis. Please do me a solid and like and subscribe and all of those things, but most importantly, go make something.